everyone, and welcome to today's Fab Lab. Today we're going to be learning all about the science of magic. And did you know that a lot of magic really is just science? And you're going to learn some really cool things that you can dazzle your friends and family with. If you're interested in any of the experiments or magic that we will be doing today, we invite you to go to our show notes where we'll have a description of all our experiments. But first, I would like to tell a story as an introduction, and the story is called The Three Wishes. Once upon a time, a woodcutter went into the forest to cut some wood, and he found a gnarled old tree, and he raised his axe. "No, no, no," came a little voice. The man looked around, but he didn't see anything, so he raised his axe again. "Stop, it's my home!" He looked around, and there he saw a beautiful fairy. "Please spare this tree," said the fairy, "for this is where I live." "Oh, I don't want to ruin anyone's home," said the man. "You may keep your home, fairy. I will find a different tree to cut today." "Oh, indeed, and you have done better for yourself than you know," said the beautiful fairy. "For I know magic, and I shall grant you and yours 3 wishes, no matter what they may be." "Oh, how wonderful, thank you, fairy." So the man hurried home as fast as he could to tell his wife his good fortune. But alas, when he got home, his wife wasn't there. All he saw was the empty table with a plate sitting on it and nothing to eat. And he was so very hungry, for he had gotten up very early to go out into the woods that day. As he looked at the plate, the man had a thought, and he said, "Oh, so hungry am I. What I would do for just a little morsel of something to eat. I wish I had a nice big juicy sausage right now." And with that, zoop, the biggest sausage the man had ever seen went into thin air and zoop, right down onto his plate. And just at that moment, in walked the man's wife. "What is this? You're home so early and such an enormous sausage on the table. Wherever did it come from?" asked the wife. The man had to tell her all about the oak tree and the beautiful fairy and the 3 wishes. "And so," said the wife, "you wasted one of our 3 precious wishes on a sausage? Oh, I wish that sausage were stuck on your nose for all the world to see what a simpleton you are." And zoop, the sausage jumped off of the plate, and zoop, it landed right on the edge of the poor man's nose. "Now look what you've done. You've gone and wasted our 2nd wish," cried the man. "Get the sausage off my nose." The woman grabbed hold of the sausage, and she pulled, and she pulled, but pull as she might, that sausage was stuck on fast. "I know," cried the woman. "Give me your axe. I shall cut that sausage off." "Oh, no, please don't cut off the sausage. We need to use our 3rd wish." "Oh, no, we will use our 3rd wish to ask for riches. Once you have pots of gold, you will be able to buy beautiful ribbons to tie on that sausage." "No," said the man, "no, wife, I want it off my nose, and I want it off now." Finally, the wife gave in. "Oh, I wish that sausage were off your nose and this whole trouble finished." And with that, plop, the sausage fell right off the man's nose and on to the man's plate. That was the end of the 3 wishes, and all the man and his wife got for it was a sausage and an argument. The end. So that's a story where wishes go sour. But wishes don't always go sour. Sometimes they truly can be magical. And now I'm going to introduce you to Miss Erin, who is going to conduct some experiments all about the science of wishes.
Hi everyone, it's Miss Erin here, and I'm here to show you 2 experiments you can do at home about the magic of wishes. So the first one I have here, all you're going to need is a penny, any penny, a glass, it can be a cup, it can be a jar, whatever you have, and another cup or pitcher of water. It doesn't have to be that much water. It can be a full cup of water just to the side. So you know when you go to a wishing well, either outside or sometimes they have them in the mall, and you can throw pennies in and make a wish and you see all of them sink to the bottom. Sometimes you don't see all of them because there's something cool that goes on. It's almost magical. All right, so you see over here I started with a penny and I just left it flat on my table. I'm going to take my glass jar or my glass cup and put it right over my penny. So you can see it now, but I want you to watch what happens when I pour water into the glass. See the penny right here? Now watch what happens. Magic is going to go on as soon as I pour water. Can you see the penny now? I can't see it anymore. It disappeared into water. How does that happen? That's so weird. You might be trying this at home and you're like, what the heck? So you want to know a secret? The reason why this penny disappears is because of something called light refraction. This happens when when light bounces off of an object, like our penny, it reaches our eyes and we see the object. But since we have glass and water blocking it, the light is refracted and it never reaches our eyes, which is why the penny looks like it's disappeared. Are you ready for the next one? All you're going to need is your penny and yourself. Guess what? I'm a magnet and you're a magnet. Do you want to know why? You're about to see. I'm going to stick this penny to my forehead. Without my hands, it's going to stick right on me. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Whoa. See, I'm moving my head. It doesn't fall off. My hands are down. It's sticking right to me. I've proven I'm a magnet. Now the reason this really works is because all of our skin is naturally sticky. We might not feel it just by touching our arms, but we are sticky, and that's because we all have moisture in our skin and sweat a little bit, even if we can't feel it. And that's the science of our human body being some kind of magnet.
Hello again. And Miss Erin told us all about how science can be magical. We're going to now talk about the magic of water. And as we know, water is so important to all of us. We need it to live. We're made up of water. Well, for many centuries, people have used the power of water to create energy and to harness energy. And today we're going to learn about a secret about water and do a little magic trick that you can replicate to dazzle your friends and family. And here we go. It just takes a metal can. This is a coffee can. And you'll notice on my coffee can that we put in, get an adult to help you with this, four little nail holes right through the coffee can. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some tape. In this case, it's painter's tape. You can use painters or masking. You can use duct tape. It's just you're going to have to be able to take it off again. So painter's tape does the job. There we go. And now I'm going to fill my can with water. Nothing's leaking out of those holes because of the painter's tape. Now when I remove this painter's tape, we can expect 4 separate sprouts of water to come out of these holes and into my bucket. Let's see. All right, there we go. Got some action. I see 4 separate streams of water. Now, I'm going to take my fingers and look, I made one stream of water just by touching it with my fingers. Voila, how did I do that? And now I'm going to take my fingers again and I'm going to flick it apart. I've made 2 streams. Now I see 4 streams of water again. I've made multiple streams of water again by flicking my fingers and separating it. But wait a minute, how did I just make 1 stream of water using my fingers? I'm going to explain to you. It is the magic of science. Water is made up of molecules. And the molecules in water, they're very attracted to each other and they like to stay together. So when I used my fingers and pushed the four streams together, it made one big stream because those molecules were attracted to each other by a force. And then when I flicked it apart, the power of my flick was stronger than the attraction the molecules had for each other, and then they separated again. So that just shows you that water has some secret properties that we didn't know about. So try that one at home. It's pretty cool.
All right, it's Miss Erin again. I know Mrs. Navs just showed you a little bit about the magic of water. I'm also going to show you another experiment with using the magic of water, but this time the effect of air pressure on water. You might be like, what's air pressure? Well, I'm about to show you. So all you need again for this one is a pan, or really anything that can kind of hold water just in case any spills over so you don't make a mess. Something like this. You'll need your glass jar or cup again. You'll need water, which we have in a pitcher, but you can keep water off to the side. And a piece of cardboard. It can be just a small square that you cut, just that it covers the top of the glass. So what you're going to do first is fill your glass until it's almost completely full. So I did that right here. I didn't fill it all the way where it's spilling over at the top, but I filled it until it's completely full. So now that I have my glass completely full, I'm going to take my piece of cardboard, holding it tightly with my hand, just like this. Now what I'm going to do is turn it over. And some water might drip out, but a lot shouldn't. So you can see right now that no water is dripping out. So what I'm going to do is slowly take off my hands, and the glass will stay on the cardboard just like this. Whoa, is it magic? You might be wondering why this is working. It's super cool. This trick works because of something called surface tension. You learned about the water molecules that kind of stick together. So what happens is they cling together at the surface, so at the top of a liquid, and they form kind of like a cover. So because of that, the surface tension of that water, it seals the area between the cardboard and the glass, but that's not the only reason why that works. When you turn the glass upside down, it holds the water because the air pressure is pushed up against the cardboard. So if I have my cardboard up at the top, and I turn it upside down, all the pressure is being pushed up onto the cardboard just like that. And because the air pressure against this cardboard is greater than, so it's larger than the air pressure on the inside of the glass, the water can't pour out. All right, Fab Lab friends, we have another cool experiment that has to do with static electricity. What I have here are two paper fairies, a balloon, and our wool sweater. I am going to rub the wool sweater along my balloon to make static electricity, and we're going to watch something super cool happen with these fairies when we bring the balloon closer to it. Our fairies are going to dance. Can you believe it? Balloon closer. And there we go. I have one dancing. And now I have the other dancing. All through static electricity. Watch as our fairy, oh, there we have one. Here we have another dancing fairy. Isn't that cool? All from static electricity. Awesome. Now the reason that happens is because of something called electrons that move from the sweater to the balloon and create static electricity. Even though static electricity is invisible, it's powerful enough to draw these paper fairies toward it. And when the paper and the balloon come in contact, the charge is neutralized and the paper falls down, which is why, even though there's still some friction on here that we made, or still some static electricity, our paper flowers won't really attach. This one did, but as soon as I take it off, shouldn't really, oh, there we go, we have it working again. Let's see, it doesn't attach as well anymore. And that is some more static electricity fun.
I will now attempt another death-defying experiment using air pressure. This one involves a very simple ping pong ball. This ping pong ball I will attempt to keep up in the air. Now, as we know, we have something called gravity on this earth. So when something is dropped, it falls to the ground because gravity is pulling it down. So how in the world can we keep it up in the air without gravity pulling it down again? The answer is air pressure. And this is something that we use to keep airplanes up in the air. It's the principle behind how airplanes work. But what we're going to do right now is put this on top of this hair dryer. I'm going to turn the hair dryer on, and we will see if our ping pong ball remains in the air. There it is. So the air pressure from the hair dryer is pulling up, and meanwhile gravity is pushing the ping pong ball down, and now it's in this place of suspended animation. So if I put something covering the hair dryer and turn it on, it would look like this would be completely suspended in the air. So this is another way that you can amaze your friends and family by keeping a ping pong ball suspended in the air using the principles of science. We just talked about the magic of air pressure, and I am going to show you a dazzling experiment that's going to talk more about the magic of air pressure. And here we have a very standard typical bottle, and we have a hard-boiled egg. And I'm going to put this egg on top of this bottle. Look at this. It just kind of sits there, but there's no way you could get this egg inside this bottle without breaking it. Impossible. Not impossible with the magic of air pressure. Now, kids, you cannot do this yourself. You will need adult help because it involves fire. And here we go. What I have here is a napkin. And I just ripped my napkin up. I have a little bit of a napkin. I'm holding it kind of in my bottle, and I'm taking a lighter. And I will light this napkin on fire. Once you have it going, drop it into the bottle and immediately put your egg on top just like that. And now, as you can see, the heat from the fire is rising up in the bottle, which is dropping the air pressure inside the bottle and making it rise on the top. And since the air pressure is higher on the top, it's pushing down on the egg and pushing it into the bottle. I am touching nothing, yet that egg is getting sucked into the bottle. This is so crazy. Wow. So, yeah, and it looks like it's kind of stole on the mouth. But look, folks, we got it to go down. So here we go. You can get an egg into the bottle, which is completely impossible because of the magic of air pressure. Thank you.
Hi again, it's Miss Erin. We're on a roll here today with all of our awesome science experiments. Now we're going to switch gears from air pressure and water to static electricity. So what I have here to do the super cool experiment is a balloon that's already blown up, salt, pepper, a paper towel or a napkin. I'm just going to lay that out flat in front of me. A wool sweater. You need a wool material sweater, so I have that here. What I'm going to do first is you might need a grown-up's help for this one. So make sure you have somebody to kind of help you out. So what I'm going to do is open pepper, and I'm just going to pour, I have a spoon here. I'm just going to take some pepper. So I'm going to pour, you can see that I poured some pepper out. I'm going to do the same thing with the salt. Doesn't have to be a crazy amount. We're going to mix the two of them together. So you'll see that when I mix it, try it this way. When I mix them together, you won't be able to separate the salt and the pepper from each other because they're so small once it's mixed. You can't really separate them, right? So what I'm going to do now is use magic to separate them. Bring this up close. So what I'll do is I'm going to take my balloon and take my wool sweater. This is where these come in handy, and you're going to rub your balloon on the wool sweater for a good amount of time. So I'm creating static electricity. I'm going to bring it closer to my mixture of salt and pepper, and we're going to see what happens. Are you ready? Whoa! A whole bunch of pepper just floated up from the paper towel onto my balloon. That was so cool. And the reason that only pepper, if you look closely, only pepper did that and my salt stayed in. See if even if I hold it closer now, I'm gonna get more pepper. It's because the pepper is attracted to the balloon, but the salt isn't. And this is because of something called static electricity. When we rubbed our balloon with the wool, it created something called a negative charge. When I brought my balloon near the salt and pepper mixture, the pepper became attracted to the balloon because these things called electrons in the pepper became positively charged once they moved to the side. And then the positive and the negative charge made them attract to each other. The reason why our salt stayed in the mixture is because the electrons in salt don't move very easily. So while the electrons in pepper will move, the ones in salt won't move as easily. And that is how you can use a balloon and salt and pepper to take pepper out of a salt and pepper mixture and experiment with static electricity. All right, our friends at home, I hope you had a wonderful time with us today, looking at different science experiments you can do that have to do with the magic of wishes and different little magic tricks you can kind of try to trick your friends and family with. We hope you have a lot of fun trying these at home, but make sure that you have an adult with you during some experiments where we mentioned that you need that. And I hope you join us next week for some more science fun. Bye!